Welcome back to another episode of Expensive and Exquisite Memory Kit Overview at TechCreator. And you can see today that I'm actually wearing gloves. It's not something I do every day because this kit is very special. And without any further ado, let's dive into what this kit is all about. Okay, now first of all, this is not your ordinary Spectrix D50 kit because this is the Spectrix D50 XTREME, which is equipped with highly lean memory chips that allows it to achieve very high frequencies such as 4800 MHz and 5000 MHz. So they only have two models, which is the two I mentioned earlier, and it's only for those who are really picky about the performance when it comes to overclocking and of course benchmarking. For normal users, it's not really the kind of kits you are looking into because first of all, you can't run this kit perfectly with just any ordinary motherboard. It requires special high-end motherboards that support very high memory frequencies such as the ROG Apex we have right here, and of course other high-end offering from other board partners. So inside the box you will have a actually pretty fancy packaging right here, though it does reminds me of, you know, the G-Skill Trident Z Royal for some reason, but you'll see more of it later. So inside the box you actually get a piece of microfiber cloth. They included this for a very good reason because the kit that comes inside the box is with mirror finish. It reminds me of G-Skill Trident Z Royal very much, but design wise I would say it's a lot more better. Of course that's just me because I don't like the type of fonts they are using, and of course that crystal light bar or something. And I find this frosted bar and a simple design much more attractive than the fancy ones from G-Skill. Sorry about that. Closer look at the kit, you can see that the design is actually very similar or if not identical to the ordinary D50, and because of its glossy finish right here, if you don't want to leave any permanent fingerprints on the mirror surface, it's best for you to clean off the surface every time you put it on or pull it out from your system. And let me show you a very good example of a permanent fingerprint stain on such mirror finish. So right here we have a pair of very worn out Trident Z Royal from G-Skill. Yes, I got this kit 2 years ago, I would say, and if you take a closer look at the heatsink itself, you can see a lot of fingerprint stains and some probably oxidized surface. And all this is because I didn't really care about wiping off my fingerprints throughout the tests I've done in the past. And before I realized it, all these stains, fingerprints is already on the kit permanently. Yes, if you try to clean it off with any kind of rubbing compound, it will not work. It will still stay on the surface right here. And if you try very hard to remove the stain, well, you scrape off the paint, just like this small part right here. So I kind of just gave up cleaning off all these stains and leave it as it is because it's actually a very well performed kit. It's just that it doesn't have the shine it used to have anymore. And yes, I have enough of the glove. And just now I've mentioned that these kits are not meant for just any motherboard or system. It's because that the requirement for the kit right here is surprisingly high, which goes the same for the DDR5000 kits, which is another model which comes available for the XPG D50 XTREME. And for this kit alone, the DDR4 4800 kit, well, we've tried to run this on quite a lot of motherboards, including, Z390 chipsets, Z370 chipsets, B550, X570, and I can tell you that I'm surprised by how hard it is for the kit to be compatible on all these motherboards. For higher end and specially designed motherboards like the X570 Godlight from MSI, the Maximus 12 Apex from Asus ROG, and other high-end motherboards, yes, this kit will be able to run at the stated speed, but for AMD, because of how the system behaves, you will not be getting the CL19 but rather a CL20 for this kit, but it will still run as intended nevertheless. But for older motherboards that's not really made for, high performance benchmarks, well, you might have to deal with, some extra tweakings, or perhaps lower the frequency of the kit, because it takes a lot of effort for this kit to run on those motherboards. It's not to say you cannot run on those motherboards, but it will take a lot more effort. But for some motherboards like the B550 ITX from RGB Strix, Gigabyte, MSI, those are specially designed for memory overclocking, will not be facing any issues with the kit right here. And in fact, you'll be able to run it at slightly higher speed of DDR4 5000 with some extra tweaking. It does take some effort, but at least you can run it at that speed. Though in real world performance, you won't see a lot of difference when it comes to gaming. But if you're using it for, benchmark that's meant for competitive purposes, well, it will give you some advantage right there. Performance aside, if you are really looking into the aesthetics elements of the kit right here, well, it fits pretty well in quite a number of motherboards with similar color scheme. And if you're looking for the RGB design, I can say that it's probably one of my favorite, because it's not over exaggerated like quite a number of kits we've seen in the past. And the RGB lightings can be turned off if you don't want it. And of course, for those who want customization for the RGB lightings, it's compatible with most of the software from the major motherboard brands. So regardless of its looks, performance, and RGB lightings, I would say the XPG Spectrix D50 XTREME is one hell of a good kit you can own, though it might come with a pretty expensive price tag that's somewhere around 1,800 ringgit. It's not confirmed yet, but the price should be around this range if you're looking into the kit right here. So that sums up our overview for the XPG Spectrix D50 XTREME here. Will I recommend this kit? Well, if you are one of those enthusiasts who are really into the numbers, or perhaps you are one of those, RGB guys who are really looking into fancy setup for your builds, well, this is probably something you guys can look into. As for those who have a really tight budget for their build, well, I would say the ordinary D50 will serve you good enough, because the ordinary D50 will come in a really low price as compared to the Extreme D50 right here. And yeah, so that's all for what I have to say about the Spectrix D50 XTREME. Do let us know what you think of this kit. Will you get it for your build or not? Do let us know in the comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.